Hello scholars, this is a lesson overview video for task completing the positive and negative guided notes for Cami. This is teacher video 11 and I want to make sure that you are watching this video if you have not had a chance to complete your positive and negative number guided notes with the teacher on Google Meets. So the first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to go ahead and open your positive and negative guided notes. You're going to open it with Cami. You should already know how to do this at this point. If not, you can go back and watch the video on how to utilize Cami when you're trying to submit documents. So let's go ahead and complete this together. Of course, you know you need to go ahead and fill in your name. Put your name on your guided notes, just like you would do for every other document. Put your name first. And this first section says positive or negative numbers. So we have blank is the middle of all numbers. So if you look down here at your number line, you'll notice that in the very middle, or the origin, is the number 0. So 0 is the middle of all numbers. So you need to go ahead and type 0 in that box. The very first box should be 0. Blank has no value. Again, that's 0. So when you have 0, it has absolutely no value. Okay? If you have $0, you do not have any money. You're broke. And again, it's in the middle of all numbers. All negative numbers are going to be to the left of 0. So if you look right here at 0, if you go to the left, you'll notice all these numbers are negative. They're in red. -1, -2, -3, and it goes on and on and on. So all negative numbers are going to be to the left of 0 on your number line. All right. All positive numbers are going to be to the right of 0. So if you look to the right of 0, you've got +1, +2, 3, 4, 5. If you notice in front of these positive numbers, you have a plus sign. If you notice on the left of 0, on the negative numbers, you have a minus sign. So if you see -1, you know that that's going to be a negative number. If you see a number that says +1, it's going to be positive. Sometimes for positive numbers, you'll just see the actual number. You won't see a plus sign, so that means it's automatically positive. So again, if you look down here at your graph, the number line, you will notice that all the numbers to the left are what? They're going to be your negative numbers. So make sure you type that answer in for your guided notes. Negative numbers. Again, if you look at the 0, which is the origin, in the very middle of all the numbers to the right of 0 are going to be your, that's right, positive numbers. So you're going to go ahead and fill that in on your notes. Now remember, if I'm going too fast for you, just stop the video or go back and rewind. That's the wonderful thing about watching and completing notes with a video. You can work at your own pace. Even if I'm going too fast, that allows you to just pause the video and go back and make sure you fill in all of your information. All right, the next section of your notes is going to say numbers that are blank, distance from blank are blank. So numbers that are equal distance from 0 are opposites. Okay? So I'm going to explain that to you in just a minute. So numbers that are equal distance from 0 are going to be called opposites. So let's look down below that and look at an example. So for example, you see down here we have our number line. We're going to start at 0. It's in the very middle of all the numbers. -4, which if you go over 4 spaces to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, there's your -4, and +4, go back to the 0 and go to the right 4 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, they are opposites because they are both 4 units from 0. So -4 and +4 are called opposites. Because if you start at 0, you move exactly 4 units to the left, and then you would move 4 units to the right for the negative and +4. That's why we call them opposites. So numbers that are equal distance from 0 are called opposites. Adding opposite numbers will also equal 0. So again, for example, if you're going to have +4 plus -4, it's going to be 0. -4 plus +4 is 0. We're going to look at this a little bit later, I think in a couple lessons down the road, where we add or subtract integers. We're going to be adding positive and negative numbers. So this is just a little bit of a heads up for what we're going to be doing in a future lesson. But remember, if you're going to add opposite numbers, they're always going to equal 0. And down at the bottom, we've got positive and negative numbers describe opposite relationships. So a positive is going to be opposite of negative. Up is going to be the opposite of down. Above is the opposite of below. And then how much you have is going to be opposite of how much you owe. So if you have $4, that's going to be a +4. If you owe somebody $4, that's going to be a -4. So if you notice, these words are written in the color that they represent. So the blue represents numbers that are going to be positive, and the red represents numbers that are going to be negative. So if you're going up, that's going to be positive. If you're talking about above, for example, the temperature rose 4 degrees above 90 degrees, that means it's going to go up 4 degrees, which is very hot, which we're probably experiencing now. And then how much you owe, again, is going to be positive, whereas, how much you have is positive, whereas how much you owe is negative. Anything below is going to be negative, as well as going down. If you took your speed limit down from 55 miles per hour to 50 miles per hour, you went down -5 miles per hour. Okay, so that's it. This is the lesson overview video for positive and negative guided notes. I want to make sure you have this completed and submitted so your teacher can check that you've gotten this done. Thanks so much, and I will see you again in another video.